welcome to another episode of OMG WAT DAT COVID edition. Today's subject is Old Pali Highway. Old, I underlined. It's basically called Newanu Pali Drive now, but I'm here to show you the sights. It's also during the day, primarily because of COVID. What I've encountered is many encounters with cops that really don't like it when we're out there doing our thing, namely ghosting. So I've opted to be kosher and show you the sights and also the beauty of Newanu Pali Drive, also otherwise known as the Old Pali Highway. This is the route the Old Pali Highway used to take. I will attempt to try to get through to all of the spots. There is one location though that is very difficult to get to, but like I said, on this edition I'm gonna feature Old Pali Road or Old Pali Highway, also known as Newanu Pali Drive. Anyway, so that way right there that I'm pointing at is actually the way. It goes to the right as you come up Pali Highway. For those of you who don't know where it's at, you will see a sign that says Old Pali Road, Newanu Pali Drive and Pali Highway. Take the Newanu Pali Drive and you will be going on what used to be called Old Pali Highway. Anyway, our first stop is going to be Morgan's Corner, for those of you who know. So follow me and enjoy. Hi guys, so we made it to the first stop, which is Morgan's Corner. Behind me, if you really look at it right now, is Morgan's Corner. I'm trying to pan it over. It's a notorious spot where a lot of kids used to come and all that kind of thing. I'm trying to get the whole turn, but up from Old Pali Road, Old Newanu Pali Road, the first stop is a bend, and it's called Morgan's Corner. For a lot of people who do not know about the story of Morgan's Corner, there was a murder that happened just up the way up there on the Morgan estate. Basically, the gist of the story was two criminals, or two people who came out of furlough ended up coming here to escape people. They broke into the house because they were basically hungry, needed food, and all that kind of stuff. So what they ended up happening is they broke in. They encountered Therese Wilder and basically killed her. Now it is said that her spirit actually resides in this location. Sometimes you hear her screaming and all that, but there's other things in this location said to haunt this corner. First off, I'm just gonna say two of these stories that I'm about to tell you are actually, I believe, located in an other location, which is further down Old Pali Highway, on what is now known as Cannoli Road. But it seems like the haunting seems to come here also. I don't know if it's really that true too much, if they're here or not. But here goes the story. First off, we know about the Therese Wilder story. She haunts this location. You do hear sometimes her yells and screams. Sometimes she asks for help. There's many people who actually come here. Sorry about that. Come here to see if they can contact Therese Wilder. I know of a few college students who has come over here once to try to do the Ouija board thing, which I definitely tell people don't do. It's really bad not to do. But they got their scare big time. The second story revolves around what most call the jump rope girl. The jump rope girl basically was another girl who basically was murdered in the location. Supposedly her spirit runs that road and comes walking around the place, and it is said that you actually hear before she shows up the tapping of the rope that she used. That's the gist basically. She comes and approaches your car. You're parked where my car is, which is right there, and as she approaches, she will disappear and then appear in your window all of a sudden. The third story, number 3 story, is said to be the Headless Girl. But once again, like the jump rope girl, I do believe this story seems to have migrated all the way down here, since Cannoli is no longer accessible really to the public. So for some apparent reason, it's migrated to this location. Anyway, what the jump rope, what the Headless Girl is all about is it's a suicide. And what ended up happening is she hung herself, but she hung herself so hard that her neck or her head actually ripped off. Yeah. So basically now she walks the road of Old Pali Highway holding, either she's walking without a head or she's holding her head with her. So, and finally another urban story, which is the two lovers. Most of you probably know about this online. You hear it all the time, and it consists of a couple who got stuck here. Like making the story short, the boyfriend went back to downtown to seek help, and she stayed in the car. Later on, blah blah blah, stuff happens and all that kind of stuff, and the cops go to the car and ask, oh, can you step out of the car? She finds out as she steps out of the car, her boyfriend is hanging from one of the limbs above the car, barely touching the roof. Now this one, I do believe, is more towards Cannoli, but like those 3 stories I just said, it's migrated to this location, probably because, in my understanding is because Cannoli is no longer viable to go to, per se, for the public. This is the spot. So, other... Sorry about that. You have morons here, because some people don't like us doing this kind of stuff here, but of course, in my opinion, I'm on public area. I'm not doing anything wrong. So anyway, so coming back to what I was saying, there's other stories involved of this location. The stories kind of say that here there are areas in this location that has energies that promote such things. First off, the road itself. Okay. This road as you can see right behind me, this road seems to get a lot of activity. I was here the other night and there seems to be a lot of activity down this road in particular, only because it disappears. I was here just before Hurricane Douglas, and I felt a few things here. But just to run the gist of what happened, I felt a shadow presence as we were doing a spirit box session at this location. Now, another spot in this place said to have a wide variety of hauntings is this wall. This wall is said to be its own, it creates its own energy. Though it's man-made, I have not experienced that wall per se, and I haven't seen anything in regards to spirits coming from this wall. But some say that there is an energy that comes from this wall certain times, and it tries to talk to you. Okay, so that's one. Then of course there is this. I'm gonna spin this around. Sorry about that. There is this pond right here. It looks man-made, but it is part of Newanu stream, and basically it's said that you sometimes hear things at night here. I've heard things. I really can't really say if it's really haunted, because every time I come here, it seems like my K2s and my other instruments don't produce any type of reaction. So yeah. And then another location is the said wall up the street. Supposedly you can see faces as you get close to them and all that. Now, there's a lot of myths. This is part of the Battle of Newanu, so you got to remember blood and emotion and all that seeps into this ground, creating a lot of energy here at this location. So that's basically Morgan's Corner in a quick nutshell. Anyway, so let's move on to the second one, which is Judd Trail. I believe is a lot more haunted per se during the night. It has a lot more energy at times. So we'll go there. All right. Alright guys, we're at Judd Trail. Jubu here, just in case you guys don't know. Just to give you a heads up, if you like what's going on and you like my videos, share, like, and subscribe. I try to do this as often as I can, but with COVID-19 lockdown happening here in Hawaii, it's very difficult to actually do this during the night. But this particular episode, I'm going to be doing this during the day, just so that you see the beauty of Old Pali Highway, or Newanu Pali Drive. Sorry. Anyway, so just to give you a heads up, there is a reservoir here next to Judd Trail itself. It is a decent spot to go to. I'm headed up there right now. Sorry. But just to give you a look of the beauty of the reservoir itself, this actually attaches to a kind of like a bigger reservoir out there. But this is where the runoff comes down into Newanu stream, and this is still part of the Newanu stream. Judd Trail is a very popular spot. If you can hear it, you can hear people still hiking and laughing down in the area. It's also an access point to Jackass Ginger for those of you who actually hike to find these small spots. But this is the way to get to Jackass Ginger. There's also I do believe the Newanu Trail runs perpendicular to the road, so if you go up instead of going along the river, you will hit the Newanu Trail, which goes all the way up to the ridge. Anyway, but I just wanted to show you the little stream that's really quiet here. Said to have the mo'o, which is actually further down that way. But with everything that's here, we're here at Judd Trail for another reason other than the fact that we're showing Judd Trail itself. Let me walk across the street to my car, just so you guys know that we are at Judd Trail. Here's the entrance itself. I'm gonna go walk over the thing. So we're at the front side of Judd Trail right now. There's a lot of cars here. As for the frequency of people coming here, there's a lot of people who actually come here. Trash sometimes builds up in this location. Personally saying, I love the fact that somebody brings a trash bag here, but that kind of makes things worse for the trail, because once that bag gets filled up, who's gonna pick up the trash? So for those hikers out there, please take the trash, take your rubbish with you when you go back to the hotels or go home. Anyway, that's a side note. I'm actually here to talk about more about the Judd Trail. Okay, so here at Judd Trail, this is another hangout that a lot of us like to go to, primarily because it's pretty quiet, serene, out of the way. Cops rather you not hang out here overnight, like at night, but you know, I can understand why. Right now, if you can hear, there's kids playing down by the river. It's not a haunting, but here at this location, many things happen. First off, the screams at night, and sometimes you see stuff that you don't want to see, which is shadow people. It is said that you can see orbs here. I do have a story here, but I'd rather keep it for another video. But the ultimate gist here is this is where the bloodiest part of the battle started, like happened during the Battle of Newanu. Hence why there's a lot more activity here at this location. There's also a pohaku, a stone. For those of you guys who are on the mainland, of pohaku is a kind of like a sacred stone that has hieroglyphs here. It has been defaced a few times, but it's been cleaned up. But that pohaku has energy. I came here to check out the energy that one night, and I came across a few. But like all things, we'll go back to the story. I'm being sidetracked, probably because of the sounds of the kids that are playing down there. But there are shadow people, and it is said that they walk amongst the trees down by the river. There's also what I believe is an entity who traps souls here. The last time I was here by myself, I had a feeling that there was something. All I can say is a manggagamot might have been here and had trapped a soul here, and now that soul is stuck. I do believe she's probably trying to get out, but it won't let it. So that's Judd Trail. It's short, but it's haunted primarily because of all the spirits that's here. You go down to the trail at night, or if you go down the trail actually, and you look, there is a lot of weird things that can happen. There is a particular tree which kind of freaks me out. It is a tree that actually kind of overhangs the river, and to me it feels like it has energy. Not to say that I'm psychic, sensitive, and empath, but I don't think it's I think it's a lost soul type of thing. Anyway, this is Judd Trail, another hotspot along the road of Old Pali Highway. So let's move on to the next one, which is kind of sensitive. I'm not at Kanyakapupu, but the Kanyakapupu actually is on this road. I'm not gonna film Kanyakapupu or the entrance to get there, but I will be in the area where the Board of Water Supply is, and we've had videos there. Once I get there, I will be calling it Lua Kaha, or otherwise known as for the heiau that it used to be over there, Kavaluna. So I'll catch you there. Hi guys, and welcome to another spot along the Old Pali Highway, otherwise known as Newanu Pali Drive. I am here, like I've said earlier, at a sensitive location that at this point I'm gonna just call Kavaluna, which is basically the heiau which this thing was built upon. It's also the Lua Kaha area. Lua Kaha Falls also sits in this location. I'm at the border water supply location. So behind me, as you can tell, is the border water supply area, but behind that is actually a kalo farm, and on the other side of this road is a community that likes its privacy. So basically what that is over there on that side is basically the taro plants. Now we have search and rescue coming up the road, which they just passed me. I don't understand why, unless somebody got lost up on one of the trails again, but it is what it is. And I'm here to tell you of another haunted location here on old Pali highway. I'm not going to go to the actual location or even show the front of how to access that, because it's a sensitive area, and to respect the Hawaiian culture, for me, in my opinion, I shouldn't even show that thing. It is a closed area to the public. So is Lua Kaha Falls, for those of you who don't know that yet. If you do want to go to Lua Kaha Falls, you can actually access that through a private area that you basically have to, before you even get to where I'm at, there's a little spot that says Lua Kaha Falls Drive or something like that. And I do believe you might want to ask if you can actually go there, because Lua Kaha Falls falls into a private location and all that. Yeah. But like I said, I'm here to describe what's happened here at Lua Kaha and the area that I was mentioning, which is Kavaluna. There's a lot of disturbing things you will see if you should go there at night. First off, the warriors. There are shadow figures that look like Hawaiian warriors that walk the area. There's also a lot of glaring, feeling like you're being glared at when you go to that place. It is sacred, and it's really, really, what you can say, serene during the day, but at night it's a whole different atmosphere. Orbs is said to be there too, and fireballs comes out of the location. I don't know why fireballs should come out of the location, because we are in the mountains, but here it is also the story of Kaupe and Kanakanui. For those of you who do not know who Kaupe is, he is a demigod, an entity that's has a dog head and a warrior's body, a human body, and is said to eat people. Sightings of him here stems from all the way down to Kavaluna to actually where I'm at the ponds back there, and also down there by that relay station is said to have sightings of him all over the place, primarily because when they're not happy about it, he actually comes out. Situations that you hear, if you hear screaming in the location, or even just people said to be looking for help, that's said to be Kaupe trying to trick you into trying to save him, save the people, because he's hungry. Now in this location, all the way down by Morgan's Corner, is said to be the home of Kanakanui Nui. I do believe that's what his name is. I don't want to confuse him with the shark entity that's down on the windward side, but Kanaka Nui Nui is said to be the Hawaiian Sasquatch. I personally don't believe in the Hawaiian Sasquatch itself. It's too small of an island. I think it's more, if anything, it could be the Sasquatch. I have not seen or heard anything about it. It also could be in Filipino folklore, could be also the aswang known as the kapre. Kapre tends to be joyful and like trickster type, but he could also be noted as something that can be really bad for people. So, but yeah, this is the location of orbs and all that. Here right now the wind is picking up. I don't know if the spirits here are angry that I bring up Kanaka Nui Nui and the probable kapre here, but other nights that I've been here, I've heard what I can consider as the swaying of wings. I don't know of any Hawaiian folklore that actually has said abilities to fly like that, other than what I consider the aswang. In the aswang, there's another one called the wak wak, which is kind of like a bird slash vampire that's said to fly. Since Hawaii is such a melting pot, who's to say, maybe the aswang, the myth of the wak wak also followed in here. But this is Kabaluna. If you go back a little bit more on the video, you will know that I am not really truly calling it by its real name. I am calling it by its old time name prior to Kamehameha III coming here and creating his summer palace. But it's also noted as the land of the singing shells, or the singing of the land shells. I always get that wrong, please forgive me, but if you actually know about this story, you know what it's actually translated to. But yeah, this is Kabaluna, the area of Kabaluna. Like I said, we are in Lua Kaha right now, the old ancient name. The next stop is Lulumahu Falls entrance. I'm not going to go into Lulumahu, but Lulumahu itself is another haunted location. Not too many people go there because the haunting itself at that location is more of at the falls, and it requires a little hike to get there. And I'm not gonna do that anyway, so let's get there. And that's further up the road of Old Pali Highway, or Newanu Pali Drive. All right. Hey guys, just a quick stop at the entrance to Lulumahu Falls and Cannoli Trail basically. But we're here. I'm here just to show you the entrance to the area and tell you of why this is actually supposed to be haunted. Lulumahu Falls is supposedly supposed to be haunted like Waimea Falls Park, where there's a grab me spirit in the water. A lot of people, I don't know if they actually go into the water. I personally don't go in the water itself, but the trail can be, you can get lost in the trail. So if you do come to this spot and enjoy the falls itself, please try to stay on the trail. There's been many instances where people actually went off trail and ended up going to Kanyakapupu via a old pig trail or hunter's trail. It's unsafe, first off, to go off trail. Secondly, if you should go and hit get into Kanyakapupu, please remember that it is a sacred spot, and it's also a spot where, you know, if you do anger the spirits, you're gonna have to go back and give a offering or some sort of offering saying that you please, you know, that you're asking for forgiveness. Anyway, like I said, I'm here at just Lulumahu, the entrance, just to give you a side haunting here that is supposed to have happened at the falls. You have to go to the falls, but this is where it ends. Newanu Pali Drive. Right behind me right now is Pali Highway. Now this is supposed to continue on into the Pali Lookout, which will probably go, but because it's COVID, I do believe it's probably locked off from the people, so the gates are probably gonna be closed. I'm not gonna go in, I'm just gonna go to the gates and then tell you the gist of most of the stories, at which point we will attempt to go to Cannoli. And once again, it is blocked off, but we'll see. There's two ways to get there, but first off, let's go to the Pali Highway. Hi guys, we're at the Pali Lookout entrance. Due to COVID-19, it is still closed, but I don't think anyone's really paying attention. Well, not really. I don't think anyone's getting busted for going in there. If you want to walk up there, I think it's okay personally, but I'm not going to condone entering the park when it's closed. But at this particular location, up in the park area, up on the lookout area, is another fairly haunted location. It is the end result of the Battle of Newanu, where King Kamehameha actually pushed all of the Oahu warriors over the Pali and basically throwing them to the Kaneohe side, the windward side, to die. That being said, the reason why the Pali is haunted is because there's a lot of emotion here. When you do come here, please be respectful. It is said at night there are night marchers that you do hear coming up and down this road. There's also many times where a lot of people seeing spirits and orbs. There's one instance where a few people actually seen a witch per se that supposedly haunts this location also on the top. I personally have not experienced anything bad here. Of all the times I've come here at night, I've never seen or heard these things, though there are other people who believe they've seen it or heard it, and you know, and all that. But the pali itself has many trails, so most of these cars, I'm assuming, are either walking the pali puka or the notches, which are expert trails for a lot of people who don't know. But these trails at night glow with energy on really windy nights or windy days. This is actually not even close to being windy, guys. So normally it's the location where you hear the night marchers. This is where most night marcher sightings are said to be seen, coming up and down here. There are times when you see warriors, shadows of warriors, running up and down the whole of Pali. On the other side, just give you a heads up, I've noticed that it may be windy on this side, but it's never really windy on that side of the island, that side of the Pali. Don't know why, other than the fact maybe the wind is pushed so far up the hill, the mountain, that it never has a chance to come down. But it's something that's really odd. If you ever do come here at night, you can tell it's windy coming up here, but it's never windy going down, coming back. So who's to say? But this is the Pali. This is basically the end of what the travelable part of the old Pali highway is. The rest are all hard to access. So just in case, for those of you who are watching, if there is a part 2, I will be traveling to the Cannoli side to give you a heads up and history maybe of what's there. But from all of the old Pali roads, starting from all the way down from Morgan's Corner to here, this whole stretch is spiritual. So, but sad to say, it's closed, so we can't really see how it looks like. So maybe on one of the future videos, just yeah, remember, share, like, and subscribe. Anyway, to the next side, the windward side, and up Cannoli Road, trying to get the 50 video there. All right. Hi everyone. Okay, we're at one of the other ways to get to Cannoli. This, if you actually has ever walked Cannoli, you'll notice that there's a fork in the road. The way how it works, well, that fork actually delineates going to Kailua and going to Kaneohe. Well, I am on the Kaneohe side, and this is the other way to getting to Cannoli. Though here, just to give you a heads up, is a no trespassing side, and as you can tell, I'm gonna span totally around. There is no parking. This is actually the one that you can go to the road without disturbing people, because the other one headed to Kailua or going to Aoli Street is actually there's a house there. I will drive into the area just to do what we're doing right now and talk about it. But Cannoli is another hot spot. It's a hotbed of hauntings because no one has really gone to the location either from this side or from the other side that I was going to show you. That place itself is totally full of activity. I mean, seriously, it's like it's like they like you being there, so they'll try to scare you, or not scare you, but say that they acknowledge you're there. This is the road. On this road is said to be where the jump rope girl was actually murdered. On Cannoli, further into the road. For those of you who jumped over and to get to this part, Cannoli, the jump rope girl, basically was murdered and raped. She was basically murdered and raped by a few guys who basically dumped her, like did the thing what she needed to do. The thing, like raped her and all that stuff, and dumped her body on this road. I'm not gonna go on this road primarily because it's a decent walk, and I don't think my camera has that much energy to get all the way up there. But it is also said to be the location of the true couples haunting, the one where the boy ended up going to the city to look for help and find out that he's hanging by the tree dead when the cops pull her out of the car. It's also said the location where the suicide, the Headless Girl, was. Up further along the way. Kaupe is certainly seen on this road. If you talk to other people, I'm gonna look for shade because it's pretty glaring now. But yeah, it's pretty horrific up there. The road itself is spooky because it's overgrown. It's a place where a lot of ghost tours used to go. They used to park go to the pali side entrance and then try to go up that way. But yeah, this is the Kaneohe side. When you go up this road, there's a fork. One goes to one area and then it's the other. This is where you end up coming out of. If you follow the one going to the west, it'll come out here over here. This particular one, when I was younger, we actually did a investigation up here. A few of the guys said Kamapua hangs out on this side of Cannoli. I don't understand why there's a difference between one side and the other, but for some apparent reason, Kaupe sightings are seen on the other side, and Kamapua ones are seen on this side. Maybe because this is more of the lush area, it's closer to the mountain, and the road itself goes towards Kaneohe. I'm assuming, that's just my assumption. Other stories are said to be shadow warriors who still walk here. The bones of the ones that got thrown off the pali is said to be on Cannoli. So there are times when you feel like you're being watched. I was told that supposedly here during, I think, the 90s, certain rituals were done that was not kosher on this side. Hi again, guys. Hi again, guys. I just lost power in my I lost power in my camera, so I had to change batteries. Anyway, like I was saying, when we did our investigation on this side of Cannoli, we went further up all the way to the junction, the fork, and supposedly there was a lot of things that happened. I personally have not really experienced anything here, and it's been a while since I've actually gone to this location or even Cannoli Road itself. But there was a few incidences where people actually came over here, went further up the road to do stuff that they're not supposed to be doing, and they were scared away from the location. Once again, like I was saying, Cannoli has two different ways to going in, and this one in particular is not well traveled or not well known. I will be going to the pali one after I do a continuation of auloa, but as it comes from the pali highway all the way down, it's basically hard access to do with a car. So one day that might be another video. Hopefully it will be sometime soon, but it doesn't look like it's going to be anytime soon, primarily because there's nowhere to really keep the car from being hijacked or cops ticketing the thing. But before I continue on to auloa, what I'm gonna tell you is auloa is where it goes from the pali all the way down to the Waimanalo side, Kailua side, and that part of old pali highway actually connects. It gets bisected by the new pali highway. So basically, it cuts it in half. The west side of the pali highway is Cannoli, and the right side is auloa. And basically, auloa has turned into what people call 13 turns. There's been many sightings of kaupe over there also. A lot of fireballs, shadow figures, but recently there's been a body dumping, like somebody killed somebody and dumped their body on 13 turns. Now it's said that his spirit does walk around the area, but other things, more modern type hauntings, is if you are down there, joggers that you see walk there seem to be keeping up with the car, and it continues on further down, all the way down to the route to Waimanalo. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drive to auloa and then come back to the pali side of Cannoli, so you know basically how the road went and the beauty involved. As you can tell here, it is in a puka area, and Ko'olau golf course is on the other side. It's nice and quiet. Also, there's a church up there that it also has activity. And if you look up here right now from this vantage point, I just noticed that. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me point it out. And let's get the position right. All right. So that opening, that flat opening that you see up there is actually the pali lookout. So that's how far and how direct that we are down from the pali lookout. But I just wanted to show you how close we are and all that. I see white feathers, which is a sign of good fortune for me, since that's basically saying that somebody's watching over my back right now. But so the remainder of the video will be a drive through Aole to this side, the pali side of, not the pali side, but the Kailua way of Old Pali Road. So let's do this so you can see the beauty involved of Hawaii. All right. Oh, and also don't forget, if you like what's happening, share, like, and subscribe. Hi guys, as promised, I wanted to show you the other access area from to Cannoli Road, which is actually off the Pali Highway. This actually supposed to be the way going to Kailua from the old Pali Road. I can see it's been overgrown for a while, and the entrance itself is gated off. This is actually a closed hiking trail, and most aren't supposed to be on this trail, but the gate is not that far, and we'll walk up to that. And yeah, just to show you the full effect. So this is the Cannoli Road that everybody knows. Sorry, I'm kind of pulling up the stilts so that I can hold this normally. But this is the Cannoli Road that everybody knows of, and where a lot of the kids come to and all that. This is also the way the tour normally goes. I'm not gonna go all the way up, but for those of you who has been on this road, you should be able to recognize the plant pots that block the way. That's one. And here's number 2. And behind me is number 3. These used to block the road. It looks like with with it being forgotten, access to this has been opened up. I don't know if this was because somebody really wanted to open this up, but this gate used to be totally broken, like totally up, but the gate is now totally torn open, and it's kind of overgrown now compared to how I remember it. The road is pretty much all poo-pooed, but this is basically how the Cannoli side that a lot of people don't even know. Well, the side that everybody seems to access. As you can tell, no real respect, but it is what it is. I'm not going to go up the trail. Once again, this is one of those that kind of takes a hike, but this is the part of Cannoli that actually goes to the Kailua side. This is also the side that Kaupe is supposedly supposed to what do you call, inhabit. But for some apparent reasons, the gate is torn open. I don't know if that was actually meant to have happened or not, but I think it shouldn't be open. It still should be locked away, in my opinion. But one of the problems with going to this location is primarily, where are you going to park? Can't really park anywhere, and they basically made it so it's totally difficult to actually go. But once again, like the other side, Kaupe, Kamapua, this whole area is basically illegal to access. Cannoli Road, because no one really uses it because of the Pali Highway, they stopped using this road. Now, it used to be where ghost tours and adventure seekers come to test their wills. I know that this place is high in mana, so if you come here, come at your risk, your own risk. During the night, it gets bad. Energy wise, Cannoli is heavy, as you can tell based on what I believe. Since it's lined with bamboo, it's filled with spirits. Bamboo itself is supposed to be a guardian to nature, and with this amount of new growth, maybe spirits have been wanting to come down. Anyway, so that being said, and that being the well-known way to get to Cannoli, it seems like many has tried coming here. I have a feeling though that many will maybe coming here later. But once again, guys, yeah, if you do ghost hunting and all that, the ghosting and all that, please try to be as much as respectful as you can when you do come to these locations, because here in Hawaii, sites are actually, most of the places in the mountains and by the beach and all that, they're all basically sacred. Nature is sacred to the Hawaiians, and here is just the line that separates where we live and where we don't. Anyway, so let's head on to Aole, and then yeah, we can finish off basically running Old Pali Road or Old Pali Highway. Anyway, all right. Hi guys, I am at the beginning of auloa Road. Basically, it's the last part of the Pali side, not Pali side, but the Kailua side of Old Pali Road. It continues down into Kailua via Auloa Road, and there Kaupe resides. It's his home and it's his place. The road itself is it's a drag race road for a lot of people, and it's a road that has a few hauntings. First, primarily, there's a lot of shadows, fireballs, orbs, and all that happen on that road. It's also close to an area where there's been a few, you can say, where the people left their bodies. The most recent one was on the second turn. Somebody had actually left a body there, and it's said now that his spirit resides in the location. It's also a place that certain group likes to hang out as an alternative area for paranormal research. Further down as you go, it's just basically a road that winds back and forth. The name that a lot of people know this road as is called 13 Turns. One of the reasons why it was called that is because if you count the turns, it should come up to 13. But it's one of those roads that basically go to the other side, and you don't really make a major difference. But that's like the last part of the Old Pali Road, coming from the top all the way down through the Cannoli Kailua bound side of Cannoli Road. And before I wanted to stop here before we went on that road, and yeah, just to show you how the road actually is. For those of you trying to get on Auloa Road, it's actually down Pali Highway. When you go down Pali Highway, you will see the off-ramp to Kamehameha Highway. Right across the street is Auloa Road. You'll know where you're at when you see that rock.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me, we're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Okay, hi again guys. That was the quick ride all the way through Auloa Road. On behalf of OMG WAT DAT, my name is Judd. Thanks for coming along with me on this run through Old Cannoli Road from Morgan's Corner all the way down to the end of Auloa Road. Hope to see you guys on the next video, and please share, like, and subscribe if you like what you see. Hopefully you will catch more of these as we go. COVID-19 makes it harder to do this now, But once again, peace everyone, and thanks for coming down on this episode of OMG WAT DAT. See you on the next one. Thanks.